Stop and watch this video if you want to know the real truth. The historical events of Jesus Christ's crucifixion and resurrection are foundational to Christian faith. To understand their authenticity, we must examine both biblical and non-biblical sources. These accounts come from various perspectives: religious, historical, and even skeptical, providing a comprehensive view of the evidence. Let's start with the biblical accounts, which are the primary sources for understanding these events. Watch till the end for the secret to be revealed. The Gospels offer detailed narratives of Jesus' life, ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection. The crucifixion is recorded in all four Gospels: Matthew 27, Mark 15, Luke 23, and John 19, detailing how Jesus was arrested, tried, and executed by Roman authorities. The resurrection is also documented in these Gospels: Matthew 28, Mark 16, Luke 24, and John 20, where the empty tomb and post-resurrection appearances are described.
The consistency across these accounts, despite minor differences in detail, is significant on proving evidence on Jesus' resurrection. They were written within a few decades of the events, suggesting proximity to eyewitness testimony.
The Apostle Paul, in his letters, particularly 1 Corinthians 15 verses 3 to 8, provides one of the earliest creedal statements about the death, burial, and resurrection to power of Jesus. He mentions that Jesus appeared to Peter, the 12, and over 500 people at once, many of whom were still alive when Paul wrote this.
This passage is crucial because it predates the Gospels and reflects the early Christian belief in the resurrection, which Paul claims was based on eyewitness accounts of hundreds of witnesses.
Subscribe now, please. While the Bible provides the primary narratives, several non-biblical sources from the 1st and 2nd centuries also reference Jesus' crucifixion, and some even hint at the resurrection. Roman historians. Cornelius Tacitus, a Roman historian writing around AD 116, mentions the execution of Christ, by Pontius Pilate during the reign of Emperor Tiberius. Tacitus was a critical historian with no sympathy for Christians, making his account particularly valuable.
This passage corroborates the biblical account of Jesus' crucifixion under Roman authority, validating the historical reality of the event. Suetonius, another Roman historian, refers to disturbances among Jews in Rome caused by Christus, likely a misspelling of Christ. Though less explicit, this reference supports the existence of a movement associated with Christ.
While not directly referencing the crucifixion, Suetonius confirms the impact of Jesus' life on the Roman Empire. Jewish historians have also made notable references to Jesus and the early Christian movement, providing a broader perspective on the historical context.
Flavius Josephus, a Jewish historian, wrote about Jesus in his work. He mentions Jesus as a wise man, a doer of wonderful works, and one who was crucified by Pilate. Some versions of this text even reference the resurrection, though scholars debate the authenticity of those parts.
Josephus' account is significant because it comes from a non-Christian Jew, providing an external confirmation of Jesus' crucifixion. The Babylonian Talmud, a collection of Jewish rabbinical writings, mentions the execution of Jesus on the eve of Passover. It suggests that Jesus was accused of leading Israel astray, confirming the Jewish opposition to him and his crucifixion.
The Talmudic reference, although critical of Jesus, supports the fact that he was indeed crucified.
Early Christian writings outside the New Testament. That refers to the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus, echoing the teachings found in the New Testament.
This early Christian document, written not long after the Gospels, reinforces the centrality of these events in early Christian belief.
In a letter to Emperor Trajan, Pliny the Younger, a Roman governor, describes early Christians worshipping Christ as a god, hinting at their belief in the resurrection.
Pliny's account, though indirect, shows the spread and influence of the belief in the resurrected Christ in the Roman Empire.
The crucifixion of Jesus is one of the most well-attested facts of ancient history, supported by multiple sources. The resurrection, while more contested, is foundational to Christian belief and is supported by early Christian testimony and the rapid growth of the Christian movement. Several theories attempt to explain the resurrection. The swoon theory suggests Jesus did not die but was merely unconscious and later revived.
This theory struggles with the Roman execution methods and the disciples' belief in his resurrection.
The hallucination theory proposes that the post-resurrection appearances were hallucinations.
However, group hallucinations are rare, and this theory doesn't explain the empty tomb.
The stolen body theory claims the disciples stole Jesus' body to fake the resurrection.
This theory is challenged by the disciples' willingness to die for their belief in the resurrection.
The resurrection as a historical event is argued by many scholars as the best explanation for the empty tomb and post-resurrection appearances.
This view is supported by the transformation of the disciples and the rapid spread of Christianity.
The historical evidence for Jesus' crucifixion is robust, supported by both biblical and non-biblical sources. The resurrection, while a matter of faith, is also backed by substantial early testimony and the profound impact it had on the early Christian community. These events remain central to Christian belief and continue to be studied and debated by historians and theologians alike. Whether one approaches these events from a perspective of faith or historical inquiry, the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ are among the most significant events in history. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this channel, please. Godspeed. Together we all win.